And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about efforts to deal with a rash of 911 hoax calls in Southern California. My guest this segment is Ted Lieu, a member of the state Senate from Torrance, who is carrying major legislation dealing with these hoax 911 calls. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So this has really turned into be a severe problem for LAPD and the Sheriff's Office.
Yes, the legislation I'm carrying is sponsored by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office, and it's because swatting is a huge drain on law enforcement resources. It's called swatting because the agency deploys a SWAT team or something equivalent because they believe something horrible is happening at a person's residence, either people being shot or they have been shot, and that's why they bring a very large force. Each incident could cost several thousand to over $10,000, depending on do they send helicopters and how many armed personnel do they send. So this is a big problem.
And it's almost like an epidemic. And what you have, I guess, are pranksters that are hacking into computers and basically sending these phony phone calls. Right?
Yes. So this is different from your normal fake call, where in the past maybe we ask them to pizza guy to deliver 10 pizzas to your neighbor who you don't like. This is different because this call looks like it's originating from a person's home. So it looked like to a 911 operator that the call is coming from Justin Timberlake's home, for example. And the nature of the call is something very severe. Either I've just shot someone or I saw someone shot or there are hostages here. And that's what causes the large armed force to respond.
And authorities have no choice. They have to respond because it sounds real and it sounds very dangerous.
It sounds real and it looks real to a 911 operator. And so the second problem with swatting is you can imagine a very dangerous situation. Let's say it's dark at night, you have all these officers coming in and their adrenaline is rushing, they're armed, and the homeowner has no idea what's going on. And let's say a homeowner has a gun. And so you could see miscommunication leading to tragedy.
So your bill would increase penalties for hoax 911 calls, emergency calls?
It would hold the perpetrator liable for the full cost of the swatting incident and let the judge order that through restitution during the court proceeding.
A 12-year-old's already been arrested for this once.
Correct. And if my law was in effect, his parents would be liable for what he did.
What about,
or she did. I don't know who the actual person is.
What about jail time?
So under current law, you can get prosecuted for a misdemeanor, and if it's injury or death, you can be prosecuted for a felony. And so that is an existing law. And people who are watching this should know that if they engage in this practice, they'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
And already in the policy committee in the Senate has approved your bill.
Yes, I'm very pleased that the Senate Policy Committee, the Public Safety Committee, passed my bill on a bipartisan basis.
Now, originally you had written into your bill that this would be a strict liability felony. In other words, that this would automatically assume that the individual perpetrating this would knew that they could cause bodily harm or severe injury or death. But you had to take that out.
Yes, to get out of the committee, I had to amend the bill. But it's still a very strong deterrent, in my opinion, to assess the full civil costs of what the damages would be.
Okay, and now basically it's up to authorities in a court case, for example, to prove intent.
That's correct. They would have to prove up that the person intended great bodily injury or death.
All right. Well, I thank you very much for coming by and talking about this. I know the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department are trying to tamp down overall publicity about these cases, but as you know, the word always seems to get out. But Senator Lieu, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government on Demand. Have a great day.